In the bustling city of Silver Springs, 3 friends, Ethan, Liam, and Noah, grew up together. From their early school days to their time at Silver Springs University, they were inseparable. Their bond was forged in childhood, strengthened by their shared laughter, adventures, and ambitions. They were not just friends, they were like brothers. Ethan was the sharpest among them, known for his brilliant mind and quick wit. Liam was the confident and charming one, always surrounded by people who admired him. Noah, on the other hand, was the quiet thinker, observing everything with keen eyes. Their families were among the wealthiest in the city, and luxury was the air they breathed. Mansions, exotic cars, designer clothes, nothing was out of reach for them. However, there was a side to them that many disliked. Their wealth made them proud, and their success made them arrogant. They would often look down on others who didn't share their fortune or brilliance. To them, the world was divided into 2 types of people: those who were on their level and those who weren't. The turning point. One evening, as the sun dipped below the skyline, casting an orange glow over the city, the 3 friends drove out in Liam's sleek sports car. They had just finished a tough day of university exams and wanted to unwind. Music blared through the speakers as they laughed and joked, unaware of what fate had in store for them. Suddenly, the car's engine sputtered and died. Liam frowned and tried to restart it, but it wouldn't budge. They were stranded on a dimly lit street in a part of town they barely knew. "Great. Just perfect," Ethan muttered, crossing his arms. "What now?" Before they could call for assistance, a small voice interrupted them. "Do you need help?" A boy, no older than 12, stood at the edge of the sidewalk. His clothes were patched and worn, and his shoes were too big for his feet. But his eyes were kind and full of warmth. Liam rolled his eyes. "What can a kid like you do? This car is worth more than your entire neighborhood." Noah glanced at the boy and noticed something different. The boy didn't flinch at Liam's words. Instead, he walked over and started pushing the car with all the strength his small body could muster. Ethan, taken aback, joined in, and soon the 3 friends found themselves pushing alongside him. Together, they managed to move the car to a safer spot. "Thanks," Noah said, breathing hard. The boy simply smiled, nodded, and walked away, disappearing into the darkness. Sleepless nights. That night, each of them lay in their respective luxurious bedrooms, unable to sleep. The boy's face, his resilience, and the way he helped without hesitation or expectation replayed in their minds. Liam, usually carefree and confident, felt a pang of guilt for the way he had spoken. Ethan, who always prided himself on being logical, found himself asking questions he had never considered before. And Noah, who noticed the world in ways his friends did not, felt a strange ache in his chest. "Why did he help us?" Liam whispered to himself. The thought gnawed at him like a persistent echo. The next morning, Ethan called an emergency meeting. They met at their favorite cafe, a place where waiters knew their orders by heart and treated them like royalty. But today, their laughter and loud chatter were missing. "We need to find that boy," Ethan said firmly. "I can't get him out of my head." Liam sighed. "Yeah, me too. I treated him horribly, and he still helped." Noah, who had been quiet, finally spoke. "Let's go. The search begins. The three friends drove back to the narrow street where their car had broken down. They parked and started walking through the neighborhood, their polished shoes and tailored clothes looking out of place among the cracked sidewalks and small houses with peeling paint. They saw children playing barefoot, women hanging laundry, and men fixing old bicycles. Finally, they spotted the boy sitting under a broken street lamp, reading an old book with torn pages. He looked up and, recognizing them, smiled as if seeing old friends. Ethan stepped forward. "Hey, we never got to thank you properly. What's your name?" "I'm Jacob," the boy said. He closed his book, tucking it under his arm. "Why are you here?" Liam shifted uncomfortably. "We wanted to say sorry and thank you for helping us last night. We didn't deserve it." Jacob's smile widened. "You don't need to apologize. My dad always says, help whenever you can because one day you might need help too." The words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. Noah swallowed hard. "Where is your dad?" he asked, looking around. Jacob's smile faltered for the first time. "He passed away last year. It's just my mom and me now. A new purpose." For the first time, the boys saw life beyond their bubble of comfort and privilege. They noticed how small Jacob's house was, how the roof was patched with old tarps, and how the windows were cracked. Yet, despite all that, Jacob had helped them without a second thought. Something shifted inside them. Liam, who once measured success by the number of parties he attended and the cars he owned, felt ashamed. Ethan, who believed only in logic and intellect, realized there was something deeper he had ignored all his life. And Noah, always the observer, felt a fire ignite in him. The friends decided to make a change, not just for Jacob, but for all the people who struggled every day without recognition or support. "We can do something more," Ethan said, his eyes bright with determination. "We have money, resources, and connections. Let's use them." The transformation. The next week, the three friends returned to Jacob's neighborhood, not in flashy cars but with supplies. They brought food, school supplies, clothes, and volunteers. They funded the repair of homes, set up a community learning center, and organized events where professionals would come and teach valuable skills to the kids and adults alike. At first, the community was cautious, not knowing if the boys' intentions were genuine. But as days turned into weeks, trust was built. The once arrogant trio found themselves teaching math, reading stories, and playing soccer with children who looked up to them with shining eyes. They no longer wore their arrogance like a crown, but instead wore smiles of humility and joy. Jacob became their little guide, showing them where the need was greatest. He introduced them to people who had stories of courage and perseverance that inspired the friends even more. A life rewritten. Months passed, and the lives of Ethan, Liam, and Noah changed in ways they never imagined. The mansion parties were replaced with community gatherings where they sat on old rugs, listening to stories and laughter that filled their hearts more than any luxury ever could. They discovered that helping others brought a satisfaction that no amount of wealth could buy. One evening, as the sun set over the transformed neighborhood, Liam looked at Jacob and said, "You helped us that night more than we could ever help you." Jacob, now taller and full of hope for the future, grinned. "I just did what my dad taught me." The three friends exchanged glances, realizing how far they had come from being the proud, rich boys of Silver Springs. They were now known for their kindness, not their wealth, for their compassion, not their arrogance. And so, Ethan, Liam, and Noah learned that true wealth wasn't in money or power, but in the love and connections they shared with the world around them. It was a lesson they would carry for the rest of their lives, reminding themselves that sometimes, the greatest lessons come from the most unexpected teachers.